Hey, what is up, all you lonely watchers out there? This is something I've been wanting to do for like a little bit now, but I figured, the second channel would be the best place to do it. So here we are. We are on a desk tour of the LonelyFubuki desk. This is just like a setup in my room. So if you look like to the left here, you'll see a bunch of like plushies and stuff hung up. You'll see my game shelf over there. But this is going to be a full desk tour. This is new to 2025. I just got this desk set up this year. I got a decent bit of some of the equipment this year, but most of it's pretty old. So yeah, this is where I edit videos. This is where I stream from, just so y'all can get an idea. So of course, first is my MacBook Pro M4. This is what I edit all my videos on. I use Premiere Pro. I use OBS for streaming, and I use Premiere Pro to edit most of my videos. As you can see, I got a lot of emulator stuff on here. I got Ryujinx and Citra and Dolphin and Redream, a bunch of folders with game files and save files and footage for future videos. And then this is my 1 terabyte SanDisk SD card, which I edit pretty much all of my videos on, or put all my edited videos on. So if we open that up, I just got this one recently. This was in my Nintendo Switch, but it doesn't work anymore. So yeah, there's that. You can see all the file folders for all the projects I made this year in 2024 for the main channel and the second channel, and then some like other files on here because I use this to transfer stuff between devices. But yeah, I'm not really gonna give a tour of everything on the computer, but here it is. And there it is. Just mouse over here, nothing standard. It is this little, like a Logi Pop mouse or whatever. It's like $10. It works fine, but like I can't deal with Apple. They have this stupid one click trackpad and the one click magic mouse. I just can't stand it. So I got another pen mouse. It works fine. This is what I record all my audio on, pretty much. The Blue Yeti microphone. Got a little cheap pop filter I got from like Amazon on here for like $8. But this is the mic that this is my second microphone that I got, because I initially did like YouTube stuff before this. And I would do streams on things that I'd rather not talk about. But yeah, I have this is the main one that I've been using. I'll just move this microphone over here when I want to record, or I'll unhook this like desk flap, which I'll show you later once we're done with all this. I'll unhook the desk flap and I'll put it on here when I'm recording, and I'll look ahead at my script. So we have that here. Then we move on over here. This is the main camera I used to use back in the day during my old YouTube channel. Of course, nowadays a lot of my stuff is like digitally edited for the most part, so I don't really use this. Sometimes I'll just record with a webcam because I'm too lazy to use this. But this is my first camera, my Sony Alpha 6400. It's a pretty it's a pretty good microphone, or camera, sorry. I just didn't get a whole lot of use with it as of late. Hopefully I'll start filming some more stuff IRL, and I'll get some more use out of this camera, because this thing, you can see the inside is collecting dust a little. It's been a while, but yeah. Got little Sonic, though, hopping on top of this, and it's pretty much only because I have a shadow over here, so I wanted to put them like both on the desk. This Xbox controller doesn't have much reason to be here. I don't use it that much. What I really use is the PS5 controller. I use this when I'm playing any PC games on here, when I'm playing or playing on emulator, playing Citra. I mainly use this as my main controller, because the PS5 controller is probably my favorite controller ever. It feels really good, the haptics and everything. Buttons feel good, the sticks are amazing, just the feel and grip and texture of the controller is probably some of the best that I've ever had, so that's what I mainly use. This is just here for decoration. This is the bouquet I got for graduation. Nintendo Switch, a third-party Joy-Con grip, which I actually like the third-party feel. It has this like rubbery texture on the outside, so I like the third-party ones more. I kept one up here because I used to use the Nintendo Switch a lot up here, but now that the Nintendo Switch 2 is out, I'm not going to be using this very much, so I'm probably going to get rid of this at some point. Next we have the hub. The hub where everything is plugged into, because a lot of my stuff is USB. I need a lot of stuff plugged into this at once, and a lot of it is also regular USB, not USB-C, like all the ports on the computer. So I have this here. I have the cord's a little twisted, but I have Ethernet running in here. This is my Stream Deck, which I'll get to in a second. This is charging my PS5 controller, and then this is for my microphone. On this side, there's a SD card reader and stuff, and is this an HDMI port? Yeah, HDMI port, auxiliary port, all that kind of good stuff that you would need. It was like $20 or something, and it works well for me. Of course, USB 4.0. Because, well, I guess I'll wait to tell this story until we get to this. My capture card. I've been using this for a couple years now, the HD60S Plus by Elgato. It's a really neat it's a pretty good capture card. Of course, they have, like, 4K options out there now. But this one has been working fine for me, and I only put out my videos at 1080p, 60 frames per second anyway. It's max, so it hasn't really mattered. Got it hooked up with an 8K HDMI cord and a 3.1 USB-C cable. So I originally I just got this Mac this year. Before that, I wanted to make gaming content, and I just never did. I did have this capture card for years, and what happened was I plugged it into my computer with this, like, not a good thing like this, not a good hub like this, but a real, like, crappy one that was only, like, USB 2.0. And I was always wondering, like, why does the gameplay came out, like, all choppy every single time? So I just never recorded gameplay with it. Turns out it's because, you know, the converter was bad. So I had a good cable, but it was going into a bad hub that was not giving it the information as fast as it needed to. So now I got it hooked up with a new cable, and it works just fine. Flawless, 1080p, 60 frames per second. And that's all I really need. There is the Elgato 4KX, which I would like to get at some point, but is, you know, because now I'm filming it, I'm recording things in 4K with the with Mario Kart World and Nintendo Switch 2. I would like to get one before Holy Horror Mansion comes out, which is like a decade from now, so we'll probably have like 8K capture cards by then. But it doesn't matter. This works good for now. Next to it, we have my Blue Yeti Raspberry? Blue Yeti Raspberry, yeah, that's what it's called. This is a mic that's designed more so for, like, using your phone. So whenever I record stuff with, like, my phone, like I'm doing right now, I'll try to plug this into it, and I'll use it that way. So it's pretty much just here as, like, as a backup, because it's a pretty good mic, too. Not as good as the Blue Yeti, which is why I don't have just this plugged in at all times, but it just, the Blue Yeti feels more substantial. This works good, but, you know, it's fine. I'd rather use the Blue Yeti, but it's here for, like, its specific uses when it's needed. So next we come up here. This is how I put my chat up. I'll put my phone in here. This is a little, like, holder where you can run a wire down under it. You can see there. And this is, I'll put my phone, like, right here. I can't show because I'm obviously using it to record. And this is how I'd read chat. I have chat on this side, and then I'd be streaming and looking at my laptop on this side. Now I have the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold, so I can just kind of like prop it open a little bit and then like set it in here, and that works better for me now. But I'll use this. I'll have my phone on charge on here when, you know, I'm doing stuff, and when I'm just doing normal work at my computer, when I'm editing, when I'm researching or writing or doing other stuff, it'll be plugged in here. And we can see the ultimate life form, Shadow the Hedgehog, my favorite boy right here. And if we take him out, you can see that there's a Master Emerald on the inside. I should probably like start keeping pens and pencils in here, but at the same time, I don't do a lot of pen and paper work, so it's not really that necessary. Next is the Stream Deck, which I may need to open up my laptop for it to use. Hold on, let me open up OBS real quick so I can show you guys what it does, if it's gonna work properly with me. There we go. There we go. So, I use this to transition between scenes, especially when I'm going between emulators and stuff. Sometimes if I have the emulator open, or if I have it on, if I have OBS open and the emulator in the background, the emulator will lag. So this is my way around that. I don't remember how much they cost, because I also got this a long while ago when I would try to stream but like couldn't. So you can see here, if I press a button, I can switch between these, and I can switch between, oh, here's my Citra setup, here's my capture card setup, here's Ryujinx, stuff like that. So, and also I can press this to record and this to start streaming. So it streamlines the process in that way. It works out pretty well. This is a pair, I got this at a flea market, I think, in the box, a pair of JBL headphones. Pretty good sound quality. They're Bluetooth, but I always keep them plugged in because I pretty much only use them for streaming. I don't want to have to worry about charging another thing. I have so many things to charge already, so this pretty much just stays here at the office. I use like a pair of wireless earbuds when I want to normally listen to music like outside the house, but this is specifically for working at my desk here. And then we have the gaming setup over here. We have the PlayStation 4 Pro, which, fun fact, you can see it's a little scratchy, the top shell. That's not because I'm stacking stuff on top of it. The reason it's scratchy is because I one night when I was taking it out off to clean it, because it got kind of dusty, I was cleaning it, I meant to use isopropyl alcohol, and I accidentally used nail polish remover, so that like completely ruined the shell. So I bought a new one from eBay, and it's a little scratchy, but it's fine. It's not that visible. It looks a lot nicer than the nail polish remover, because that has the acetone in it, and that like completely removed like a giant chunks and layers of the plastic and made it just all. Anyway, I have this in here. I originally put this on my desk so I could play the PlayStation 4 versions of Yokai Watch 4 and Y School Heroes on the channel. But with the Switch 2 coming out, I don't know if I'm going to do that, because now like the Switch versions run pretty well. So I just have this here just in case. I don't know if I'm ever going to use it to stream and stuff, but I have used it before. Standard PS4 controller. This is a controller I used to use on Citra before I decided to bring my PS5 controller up here. At the time I got Citra, I had this like protection over the PS5 and its controller because I just gotten it. And then I have a special dock up here. Not special, but a separate dock up here for the Nintendo Switch, which which recently, what I've been doing for my streams is I'll just unplug this and I'll move it somewhere else, and then I'll put the Switch 2 dock right here. Because I only have one right now, the one that came with the console, because Switch 2 docks are expensive. They're like $110. I got this dock for like $20 somewhere. Soon, I'd like to get a Nintendo Switch 2 dock to replace this, because I'm never going to use this console again. I'm never going to use this dock again, and it just gets in the way. But to look nice, it's here for now. And then of course, we have gay flag. Obviously, had to have it, knowing me. And then I have a little Pinkie Pie to stare at me as motivation, and also look like she's gonna kill me while I'm working here. So I'm sitting here and I just always lurking. And then over here on the wall, I have, right near my desk, I have two pieces of art made by my friend TB of the channel mascot Mint. So I greatly appreciate that. I originally had that up at this desk, which this desk was originally in my attic, and I used that for unboxing videos. But now it's here in my room, and those would always be in the background. So I decided, hey, they should be a part of this setup too. So we got a few more things up on the top of the desk here. We got some amiibo figures on the left and right, just some random Nintendo characters. I probably want to change these out at some point for some better ones. But centrally, we have the collection, the full collection of the Yokai Watch Metal Moments figures. I'm going to get them all at some point, but here they are. I don't really like having the medals with them, and it takes up a lot of space, so I just display them here without their medals, and I think they look pretty good, especially because we don't really have like high-quality Yokai Watch figures outside of this, so that's always good. So yeah, that's the top of the desk, except there's one more part. I have this shelf here with a bunch of like Game Boy games and stuff, and Famicom games, and this one like Sega Saturn mech game or whatever that just stuck here because I guess I didn't want to deal with it. On top of here, I use this as like a armrest. I have my this little bag here that's you're supposed to put your wrist in. So I'll do like this. This is how I work most of the time. But there's that. Anyway, let's go down to the bottom here, where we can start to see some stuff. Like, here is one of those mangled tripods, one of these things that, like, the legs can wrap all the way around. I used to use this to film videos outside. I'd attach these to trees. But I filmed some of my videos on this, like the unboxing videos. I'd literally just put my webcam on this, and I'd, like, put it right in front of here, and I'd clear all of this stuff, because I really don't want to mess with that camera, because I haven't used it in years. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use it properly. And then is Xbox refrigerator, which is broken. So I just keep, like, handheld chargers in it. There's PSP and DS and 3DS and Game Boy Advance. And this is spilling out. So yeah, there's that. There's that. There's some other things down here. Well, I guess I gotta get out of my chair, so I guess I'll show you at this point. Woo. The Staples gamer chair. These things can go down, so it's like easy to push the chair in because there's not a lot of space in here. But anyway, down deep here, we have a couple other accessories. We have my my laptop case. We have a Retron 3. If I ever want to record like Sega Genesis or NES or Super Nintendo games, I keep this down here, but I haven't used it yet. And there is my actual tripod, which I use a lot more often. It's a pretty high quality one. We got there. It has little turny things to extend it. It's a really nice one. And then also down here we can see like the mess of cables, because I have one of these surge protectors that's also a battery backup. We can see the boxes right here, just hidden out of sight. But yeah, I have it's a battery backup, so I still have some power here for a couple hours. If the power goes out, I still have electricity here. We have the plume thing, which is for the Wi-Fi signal. I have my HDMI, not my HDMI cord hooked up to that. God, the what's it called? The LAN cable hooked up to that. Jeez. 3DS charger, which we'll get to in a second. MacBook charger, Switch and PS4 plug and all that. But yeah, that's what it looks like down here. The cable management is pretty all right. I gotta fix this. But the cable management, I think, is like pretty. Now that I look at it like this, it doesn't look good. But like at least from here, like you can't tell. You can't tell. And then one more section I wanted to look at is, if I can move this out of the way, is the inside of my drawer. This is a little bit of a mess here, but yeah, what I was talking about earlier, this thing like flips out if you press this down, so like I can move my microphone out of the way, put it here, and then I can just look at my desk, I can look at my script on Google Docs, and I can just read it out without having to look away or look in some weird fashion. These are, I don't know, I just have random tech stuff in here that like I think I might have use for, but I don't know. This is what I was using to hook up my capture card to my old computer. No go. I also have some AirTags here, which, again, I'm not an Apple person. I just have a MacBook, and my dad got me this. My parents got me this for Christmas last year, not realizing that you need an iPhone to activate it, that you can monitor them on any Apple device that's not connected to the account. I don't know, it's weird. A bunch of SD cards. Well, there's some good SD cards in here. There's a 512 and a 256 in here, but then there's also some like 512 megabytes, 2 gigabytes, like stuff that you can't use. Extra batteries for the camera. This is a small screwdriver set, which I used to use to open up the slot for the SD here on the new Nintendo 3DS, but that's not a thing anymore because I got it set up with FTP, so I can just wirelessly transfer data now, but it still stays here in case I need it for stuff. This is the cord, the special cord that you need to use your phone with the Blue Yeti Raspberry I was talking about right there, where it's micro USB on one end and USB-C on the other. Auxiliary cord for if I need to capture 3DS audio or anything like that. An extra 3.1 cable in case that one goes out. This one has USB on this end, but I could still plug it into like the hub over there, and it'll work fine. Here's another a decent hub, 3.0, but it only has USBs on here. Here's my old capture card. These this is the capture card. So I didn't used to work at this station. Like I said, I used to work at my mom's computer desk on her computer, which is old, and that capture card needed a 3.0 to even work. So I found this capture card for $20 on eBay, and it worked decent. It only recorded at 720p, 30 frames per second, but that's the max that computer could handle in terms of streaming live video, so it didn't matter. I captured a ton of stuff, a decent bit of stuff on this card. It worked well for what it was, but yeah, you literally just plug this directly into your computer and then wire the HDMI from your console to it. Unlike this, where you can output it to a TV as well. So I can go downstairs and I can play on the TV with my computer hooked up to it and watch it on the TV while it still records it. Amazing capture card. This one works out fine. Bracelet that I don't remember. Oh well. Here's an HDMI to USB-C cord. I tried to use this to stream Yokai Watch mobile games, specifically Yokai Puzzle Taiso Daiichi. But I just couldn't get it to work for some reason. Samsung kept trying to like peddle this like weird thing, but it's whatever. This is a auxiliary splitter. So with the Nintendo 3DS capture, I don't have a capture card. So what I would do is I would use this program called what's it called? NTRCFW. That would let you wirelessly stream over Wi-Fi your Nintendo 3DS footage to the computer, but it would not be able to stream audio, so you'd have to plug it in with an auxiliary cord. And what I would do is I'd plug this into the computer, I'd send one end to, plug this into the console, I'd send one end with a aux cord like this into the computer, and then put the other cord, put my headphones into it, and I'd listen to it that way. So that's how I could hear and still stream the audio. Initially, I didn't have one of these, so literally for like parts of the Yokai Watch 1 Nuzlocke for the ending and parts of the Yokai Watch Blasters 2 playthrough, I literally could not hear. Y'all could hear the audio, but I couldn't. Here's an HDMI splitter. So this is so that you can output to multiple devices. This was like when I was using this capture card. I got this as well. Because it helped me put Yokai Watch Just Dance on the TV, as well as recording it with my laptop. So that's how I made the Yokai Watch Just Dance video, because I really needed that. Because again, at the time, I didn't have computer cables to work with that. So this was that for the time. It needs power. I don't know where the power cord is, but basically, like, you plug in the output to here. You plug this in. And then I had one end go to my TV on the output, and then the other go to my computer. So, it works fine. Microfiber cloths, it's pretty self-explanatory. My Logitech webcam, which I don't really stream much with the webcam, but I've recorded some videos on this, and if I ever need to, it's here. This shouldn't be here. This is like a little adapter for a microphone that I no longer have. Some cable ties, which is how it's not nearly as bad down there as you would think. I have cables tied up and stuff, even though it doesn't really look like it. But yeah. And the 3DS charger, of course, goes in through the desk, so when I come home from a long day of playing Yokai Watch Blasters or whatever, I can just plug it in at my desk, and then I can close it up. And then I also have these. This came with the protector for my laptop, which these do not come in pink. This is like a special protective layer that's on top of plastic. So that also came with these little things to plug up the holes. So as you can see, if you look over here, the ones that aren't in use are plugged up to prevent dust from coming in. And then one of these Wii U gamepad holders, which is nice when I'm like we're directly recording my 3DS screen. Like in some of my shorts, I have to record the 3DS, just record the console. And this is a great way to stand it up. These came with the Wii U, so you could put up the gamepad without charging it, without the charging cradle. But it works well to hold up 3DS consoles. So if I wanted to take this. In my early days of streaming, and anytime I need to record just like the 3DS without using the screen record function, the streaming with boot NTR, this is what I would do. So that is about it for the desk tour. Oh, also, there's one of these sitting in here. This was cleaned up before. I need to like reorganize it. This is to take out the SIM card on your phone. But that's it for the desk tour. Now you have a little bit of a window into the videos and how they're made and what it looks like when I'm streaming and how I work. So thank you all for watching. Maybe I could do a tour of of my computer at some point, but this is what I'm gonna do for now. This is gonna be like this for a while, at least as long as I'm home before college. So if I ever get a new setup, if y'all are interested, I'll go through that as well. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye, my lonely watchers. Woo! One take.